This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
How you doing, my man? How was the pickleball this weekend?
It was great, man. Ended up finishing in second place. My partner Elliot Fernandez and we took second in the division. Wish we would have won, but did all right. Did all right for our second tournament together. We finished third and second our first two tournaments. That's pretty good.
Okay, I like that. Where are you guys playing at?
Well, we play at top level pickleball in Miami. They run a bunch of tournaments throughout the year, and those guys, JC and Ernie, they do a great job running all the tournaments. You have guys from all over South Florida, the country,
Where?
coming to play. We played at the Big Five. We played at the Big Five this past weekend.
Really? Right off of 8th Street?
Right off of 8th Street, yeah, and 99th Avenue, I think it is where it was. That's where they held the tournament, and it's a club where I think it's $100 membership a year, something like that. And
you're not Cuban if you don't know the Big Five.
Oh, absolutely. You're an honorary Cuban if you do know what the Big Five is, in fact.
I mean,
So,
come on, bro. Brother, I haven't been to the Big Five since the 80s.
Yeah, that long. Wow. It's a beautiful facility now. I mean, the way that they fixed it up is ridiculous.
I have not been there in decades, dude.
You got to go check it out. If you start playing pickleball, which I think you said you might give it a shot, go down there.
The wife and I are gonna, once I get my foot fixed,
right.
I am going to, the next thing is get in shape. I'm losing weight already.
Yeah,
as you can see, my face is not round anymore. so I'm in the process of at least dropping weight. And that way I can start to get in shape. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. So maybe I will. It's not too far from us, you know what I mean? But pickleball courts are popping up everywhere, dude. Every park now has, pickleball courts because that thing is just out of control.
Great workout for people who are a little older like us. And what I love about the game for those who haven't played it yet, all ages. You can go out there and play with a 70-year-old and he'll be just as good at returning the ball and smacking it at you as a 30 or 20-year-old. And so that's the fun thing about that.
I like it. Dude, before I ask you anything, Canes, what are you looking at, like watching Chip Kelly leave and watching coaches leave head coaching spots, going to coordinators? So is it just even the money is not enticing enough to be a babysitter 24/7? Is that what it is?
Too much bullshit in college football. That's really what it is. Oh, I mean, it's guys don't want to deal with the NIL aspect of it, and you got to think about it. While we've all known for years that players get paid, right? We've known that college players get induced to pick certain programs. Somebody drops a bag, etc. It's an entirely different world now where you have to re-recruit the players on your roster. Before it was just the high school guys, right? Or the JUCO transfers, right? The guys who were looking to get in. Those are the guys. Now you got to recruit the 85 guys on your roster every single year. And if you want to keep them and, find the money for it.
Example, the story now that as the Canes lose, they might lose Nigel Pack.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, because okay, so you guys aren't any good anymore. Yeah, I'm going to go get my last year, go get money somewhere else. And I'm leaving you guys now. So then it becomes that much harder for Larinaga to rebuild the team again next year because now he's got to also replace Nigel Pack.
Right. And it happens to all these group of 5 schools all the time, which is why you've seen guys that have group of 5 head coaching jobs leave to go become an assistant coach at a South Carolina or a Georgia State, because the money in a lot of ways is equal. And now, hey, I don't have the pressure of having to recruit an entire roster. I can just go coach football and recruit my position versus be a guy who's counted on to worry about an entire football team. So
I would imagine Chip Kelly told I forgot the
Ryan Day.
Like, okay, hey, I'm coming to coach. I don't want to deal with this recruiting and I crap and all that. No problem, coach. We'll handle all the recruiting. You do the coaching. I would imagine that's kind of what Chip Kelly wanted. Chip Kelly just wants to coach
I can tell you
all the time.
I can tell you a Chip Kelly story just from when I was hanging out with the South Florida Express a couple summers ago, and I called you in the car ride, right? Remember that where I did, and I was there with Brandon Innes, who ended up at Ohio State. We drove to UCLA and USC with the entire South Florida Express football team. USC put out the red carpet. Lincoln Riley, all the coaches, they gave these guys special access. They let them go inside the building, do all kinds of cool stuff. UCLA, they sent out their like D team to go greet us. Like one of the trainers, somebody in the recruit. No, Chip Kelly was in his office, never came out to meet any of these kids. He didn't even bother. He didn't care. He didn't want to deal with, hey, I got to sit here and wine and dine these 5-star and 4-star kids. I don't want to deal with that, right? I'd rather just go out and use the transfer portal. So for some guys, this was inevitable, and we've reached the point now where when you have a power two, right, where you have the Big Ten and the SEC that makes so much more money than everybody else, they're able to pay assistant coaches what head coaches would make in weaker conferences.
Wow, that's amazing, dude. I mean, it really is the way things have changed, and it's just a big old babysitting job that you've got, and people don't want a part of it. I know we talked on Friday. Any movement at all with the coach, with the running backs coach?
Yeah. Well, no, they had the running backs coach previously. Now they settled on the DB coach, Chevis Jackson, who actually I mentioned him to you maybe 2 weeks ago when this first went down, when their previous coach joined the Bills staff, Coach Adai, because he coached with Miami's defensive coordinator at Marshall, Chevis Jackson. So it's expected that he's going to be the next DB coach for Miami. Chevis played at LSU, was an SEC guy, has recruited the SEC and the ACC territory. So from a fit, as long as he works with the defensive coordinator and they get along, him and Lance Guidry, that's what I kind of expected to happen. You don't go out and just find some ridiculously good proven DB coach. You find a hungry coach at this stage in the game when you're hiring somebody in February. So Chevis Jackson's a guy that wants to rise up the ranks. This is a raise for him. And he gets to work with a familiar coordinator in Lance Guidry, who worked with him at Marshall.
Dude, what happens with the Pac-12?
Well, they're everywhere now. You have 4 of the former Pac-12 teams that ended up in the Big Ten, and I think you had 6 ended up in the Big 12. The Arizonas, the Colorados, Arizona State, Utah, all those schools, and then the last 2. It's basically the Pac-2 now. It's Washington State and Oregon State, and they're trying to hold on to the money that they got for last season, right? Everything that they were able to generate from.
Are they going to try to bring in schools now? Is that what
they're going to work? They're going to work now with the Mountain West to see if they either move into the Mountain West or the Mountain West moves into the Pac-12. They've got a 3-year window, I believe, to sort of resolve and get back to a minimum of 6 teams to remain as a conference. So I suspect that what's going to end up happening is they'll end up merging with the Mountain West. They'll probably rebrand it in some capacity and try to stay on, but they're not going to be viewed as a power conference right now. As it stands, it is the power 2 in a lot of people's eyes, man. It's the Big Ten and the SEC, with the ACC and the Big 12 sort of holding on for dear life so they can have one of those 5 guaranteed college football playoff spots. They just came out with the 12-team redoing the 12-team playoff format today. The NCAA officially announced that it's going to have the 4 power conference winners plus the highest ranked group of 5 winners. So for schools like Oregon State and Washington State, who were left behind, it's try to get it together in the next 2 to 3 years and see if there's a way that you can remain in a position to maybe be a group of 5 conference that earns a spot, with being a highest ranked program, etc.
And I ask you because they just announced Teresa Gould as the commissioner now of the Pac-12, and I'm like, commissioning, bro. That's like, you've been the CEO of Velvet Cream Donuts.
Yeah, it's like I said.
Look, there's Crispy, there's Andy. Where the fuck is Velvet? There's no Velvet Cream.
Yeah, brother.
Being the CEO of the Pac-12 now, or the Pac-2 or whatever,
right?
Like that's not a job I really want, dude.
Yeah. Well, I think, look, obviously, like I said, they're trying to regroup. And for the Mountain West and these other group of 5 conferences, schools like San Diego State and Boise State and to try to get together with Oregon State and Washington State, you could say you're the best group of 5 conference, right? If you're able to sort of bring those teams in, and Oregon State and Washington State remain competitive, which they have been at times. Oregon State was a good team this past year. Washington State with Mike Leach was respectable before he left from Mississippi State. So those are programs that in the past, with the right kind of coach, can be a 8, 9, 10 win program and be competitive. So we'll see what happens going forward. But you're right, man. It is funny now hearing, thinking Pac-2 and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and where that conference is going, God, man,
yeah,
that's some sad stuff. All right, what are you working on the Athletic, so folks can check you out, my friend?
Well, today I'm writing a piece on the 12 best roster additions since the end of the season, right? We know spring football is going to start on March 4th. That's when the first practice is supposed to be. So we're looking ahead, doing a little bit of roster conversation. So we'll have the best 12 roster additions. That'll be coming out probably tomorrow. And then we'll have a piece on the 12 best returning players from Miami, guys that were on the team last year and who we expect to be major contributors for this coming season. So we'll have a little bit of Hurricanes talk on the Athletic there for you to check out.
All right. Follow him on Twitter at Manny_Navarro and catch his work here twice a week, doing his thing with our Canes Rare Miami Hurricanes report. And please subscribe to The Athletic. Manny, as always, thank you, my brother. We'll catch up later on in the week.
Good talking to you. Take care, buddy.
Thank you, sir. And don't forget, visit our friends at Canes Rare. Brett, all the great people out there, man. They know what they're doing. Jeff, you name it. Guys, rock it out there every single day. They got anything and everything practically with a Canes logo on it. Maybe you need a new light for the bar with a Canes logo on it. They've got that. Heat gear, Inter Miami gear. Hey, the season starts tomorrow. So if you're going to the game or you're going to watch it on television, you're going to a bar, get yourself a little kit, man. Get yourself a jersey. Get yourself an Inter Miami shirt, a Messi shirt. Go over there to Canes Wear, man, 2655 South University Drive in Davie, literally next to La Spada's. Caneswear.com.